What is up, everybody? This is Ryan here, and first of all, I just have to say a big thank you to all of you for supporting my first video making the case for Shantae in Smash Ultimate. I had a ton of fun making it, and it's been great seeing all of your comments and messages. And a special shout out to Hanzo Sr. for retweeting my video on Twitter, and Dark Wizard Berrytan for linking to my video on his YouTube channel. And I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. And all of this goes to show that Shantae's fan base is an awesome group of people, and I'm truly happy to be a part of it. So with all that being said, I wanted to make a follow-up video to my first one, because guess what? I have even more evidence. That's right, even more evidence to support Shantae as a playable character. And some of you in the comments pointed out some cool things. I did some digging and research online, and I thought, you know what? Let's keep this hype train going. So without further ado, Shantae says we are
ready to go!
So let's begin. Independent poll results. And I briefly mentioned this in my first video, but I wanted to go into more specifics this time. So, the Reddit Ballot. Probably a lot of you already know about this one, and that's because Shantae placed first in this poll, and by a landslide. This one was held in August 2015, had over 2,000 total votes, and Shantae placed first place with 209 votes. And before I move on, just the top 10, going from 10 to 1, is Inkling, Rayman, Banjo-Kazooie, Phoenix Wright, Sora, Snake, Isaac, Wolf, then Shovel Knight, and of course, Shantae. So next, we have the NintendoLife Poll, and this one ran from May to June 2017, so a bit more recent. It was reported to have about 13,824 total votes, but apparently there is some hacking going on, so it was probably a bit less than this. Shantae actually placed in 8th place for this poll with a total of 349 votes. So the top 10, again going from place 10 up till first place, was King K. Rool, Simon Belmont, Shantae, Skull Kid, Waluigi, an ARMS character, Bomberman, Sora, Shovel Knight, and first place was Inkling. So as you can see, two totally different sources, but a lot of the same names coming up. Now we have the Etika straw poll. This one was held in September 2015, almost 40,000 total votes. And Shantae placed first in this one as well, as of yesterday, with 5,782 impressive votes. And again, you can see the top 10 here, and a lot of the same names, Sora coming up, and a lot of them Banjo-Kazooie, a popular name, and Isaac, another popular name. So here's where things take a little bit of a downturn. So for the SourceGaming Japan poll, she actually didn't place. But neither did Shovel Knight or Skull Kid, who seems to be a popular name being thrown around a lot for a newcomer. Daisy only got 12 votes in this poll, and she's playable, and neither Simon nor Richter Belmont placed in this poll either. So we really have to consider this in the context of all the polls. Now, SourceGaming also conducted a more recent mega poll from March to May 2018 with over 2,000 total votes, and Shantae placed 10th place in this one with 334 votes. And you can see the top choices again being a lot of the same familiar faces. And very helpfully, Gamnesia put together this Metapoll, which basically compiled information from 18 polls and over 70,000 total votes, which is a ton. And Shantae placed 6th place in this one with almost 3,000 votes. And if you add in Etika's poll results, she moves up to 3rd place with 8,736 total votes. So all in all things considered, Shantae did really, really well in these polls. Now we don't know the official fighter ballot results, they were never released, but if we can extrapolate from this Metapoll, which takes into account a lot of votes all over the world, that's pretty darn good. And we can take that with this information as being fairly good news. So let's move on to our second point, and that's this topic of other indie games. And so Blade Strangers is something I talked about in the first video. This game coming out later this month in August 2018. It is a fighting game. It stars Shovel Knight, who is recently announced, but not Shantae. Next we have Rivals of Aether. This one I mentioned in a comment on my previous video. This one is much more Smash-like, as you can tell just from this screenshot. And it was released in March 2017, and Shovel Knight is playable, but not Shantae. Alright, so how about another one? Indie Pogo. This one being released in July 2018, just last month. It's a fighting game, and again, kind of Smash-like in style. It stars Shovel Knight, but not Shantae. So, another platform brawler, and all of these fighting games starring Shovel Knight and other indie characters, but not Shantae, even though players have continuously asked for her for a long time, and still nothing. So you may be thinking, well, what if WayForward just doesn't want Shantae in these games? Well, let's look at the evidence, because I definitely don't think that's the case. So we have Mutant Mud's Super Challenge. This is a platforming game that came out in March 2016, and Shantae was playable from the start. You can see our half-genie hero friend right here next to Shovel Knight, and we have Captain Video from the Bit Trip series, technically the first indie character in Smash, as Xeno Facilis pointed out to me in the comments from the previous video, since he was technically a trophy in Smash 4. And let's do another example, Runbow. This is a platforming/racing game released August 2015, and Shantae was added as DLC on October 2016. And Shovel Knight is also playable in this game. Now we have Indivisible. This is a platformer RPG. It was originally planned for release much earlier, delayed until the first half of 2019. And Shantae was announced to be playable way back in November 2015. How about another example? Blaster Master Zero. And this is a platforming game released in March 2017, exclusive to 3DS and Switch, and Shantae was added as DLC in July 2017. So, as you can see, Shantae is mysteriously absent in all of those fighting games, but appears alongside Shovel Knight and other indie staples in all of these non-fighting games. And that just seems so strange to me, and beyond coincidence. WayForward is an awesome, fan-focused company. They love sharing their IP with other developers, and I'm sure they would have loved to have Shantae in the same fighting games as Shovel Knight. In fact, she's a highly requested character to appear in all of those fighting games we mentioned, and I'm sure WayForward was approached to add her. So why wouldn't they add her? Again, this is perhaps an issue of exclusivity rights and a deal with Nintendo, that she can't be in more than one fighting game, especially games that are very similar in style to Super Smash Bros. So again, it just seems too suspicious to me, and if you noticed, the dates, this has all been occurring since late 2015, which would have been the time when a roster for Smash Ultimate would have been conjured. So that's my thinking anyway. So next, this was pointed out to me by Retro Gamer Max in the comments, and in their Summer Surprise Jammies Mode trailer, WayForward had this segment to reveal a new transformation coming to the game, actually based on Blaster Master Zero, the game we just talked about. And I'll let you be the judge. Is this just a coincidence or a tease within the bounds of a non-disclosure agreement? Alright, so I thought that was pretty cool. Of course, a nod to the A New Challenger Approaches screen in Super Smash Bros. So there's also some more interesting things from within the Jammies mode itself. And a user by the name of Jorichi posted on GameFAQs and Smashboards, and credit to him for this analysis. It is a bit far-fetched, but I think in keeping with the previous theme, it could be some hinting going on. And also, spoiler alert if you haven't played or completed the Jammies mode yet. So let's talk about some of these potential hints. Of course, we have this word ultimate appearing. So Shantae in her opening scene is talking about the ultimate sleepover party, which is an interesting choice of words. And she follows that up by saying everyone's invited, which of course is an interesting corollary to everyone is here, which is the tagline for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And then Uncle Mimic, at the end of the game, asks Shantae, or tells her rather, to make sure that she's well rested for tomorrow. She asks him why, and he says, "Who knows? Every day is a new adventure." So this could be a hint at an upcoming Shantae game, or it could be a way to toy with people if you don't want to break a non-disclosure agreement. So again, let me show you some clips from this game and let you be the judge. Alright, and just a caveat for this part, this is purely my educated speculation, and I would love for you to join me in some creative thinking. So, the Nindies Showcase was an initiative to announce and support more indie games on the Nintendo Switch. So the very first one was held in February 28th, 2017, and it announced games like Yooka-Laylee and Stardew Valley. The second one was about 6 months later on August 30th, 2017, announced games like Travis Touchdown, No More Heroes, Golf Story, and Shovel Knight, King of Cards. The third and most recent one was about 6.5 to 7 months after, on March 20th, 2018, and it announced games like Pool Panic, Bomb Chicken, Lightfall, and Bad North. So, if this trend continues, which it often does with Nintendo, we should expect the next Nindies Showcase to be around, let's say, mid to late September. However, the Switch Online service is currently planned to be released during the second half of September. So here's where things get interesting. For this service, they have number 1, yet to provide a more specific launch date. Number 2, it's not clear if you need the service for free-to-play online games like Fortnite and Paladins. You probably won't, but it's still unclear. And number 3, they said it will launch with 20 NES games. Now 10 are currently announced, and the other 10 are said to be revealed later. And that's Nintendo's wording, not mine. So, now that's a fair bit of information to be released in a social media post. So I think, and this is speculation, there will be a Nintendo Direct or Mini Direct in early to mid-September for this announcement. And this Direct would be an opportunity to end with another Smash reveal trailer. And let's just say it's for one of the more popular names floating around like Isaac and or Skull Kid. So what's my predicted timeline look like? So we all know that all characters will be revealed prior to release. And if they have as many characters as I think they will, they would need at least one direct per month here on out. And I don't think this is just wishful thinking, I think it's actually pretty realistic. So, we could have a mini direct to announce Switch Online in September, and maybe Skull Kid or Isaac, let's just say. And then we'd have the Nindies Showcase in October. And the Nindies would be the perfect time to announce the first indie character playable in Smash Bros. Think about it, a bunch of Indies fans tuning in. Sakurai would no doubt clue people in the day before via Twitter, like he always does, for people to stay tuned for a surprise Smash announcement. And it would just be perfect. It would just be perfect. And I think her best chances would honestly be at the end of the Nindies Showcase, whether that's in September or October. And you might be thinking, well, the previous Nindies Showcases never had anything Smash related, but the Nindies Showcases never correlated with a Smash hype cycle. They started later and after all of Smash 4 stuff was done, so this is a new territory here. So it's certainly possible, and again, I think it would just be perfect timing for a Shantae playable fighter reveal. And of course, a Smash Direct in November to reveal, if it hasn't been already, the story mode, and just be an absolute hype fest, revealing all the remaining new characters, maybe even a demo or test Smash to test the online servers, gearing us up for release on December 7th. So, my final thoughts after this video. Again, I think her chances in Smash Ultimate realistically are pretty decent, and all of the evidence I could dig up favors her being playable. But who knows? What I do know is we don't have that much longer to wait until we find out. So, what are your thoughts on all of this? I would love to know in the comments down below. I worked really hard on this video, and if you are a Shantae fan, I really hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like so I know, and subscribe to my channel for more on Shantae, Smash Bros. Ultimate, and all things Nintendo Switch. So, Shantae, why don't you leave us with some final thoughts of your own?
Let's go!
Alright, well, sounds good to me. I couldn't have said it better myself. Well, until next time, guys. Bye.